we're going to be working on realigning spaces that may not be in the highest degree of love for you, and or how you are believing, perceiving in that experience, in that certain space. Yes, all of it is unfolding divinely. We spoke recently, I've spoken posts and also in classes on the understanding of even the God frequency within our beings, within our DNA. And so this understanding has been coming into me greater and greater and expanding more and more. And when I was preparing the notes for today's class, I was really marveled at how much of that God within, even within the DNA, the frequency of God within the DNA of the human being, emanating that love, the love that surpasses all human understanding, um, at a constant rate for the being, but the being without that connective knowing, without that intentional tapping in, right? It's almost like being unaware that you have an amazing gift or ability, and then one day you pick up a cello and you just try, you're drawn to it and you decide to take lessons, and all of a sudden this amazing masterpiece comes out and the individual realizes they have this beautiful gift with the cello. So every human has this gift of this divine, holy, sacred connection to God within their being, and it keys into so much. Remember this, the saying, or the quote, the kingdom of heaven is within. And know thyself, and be still and know I am God. And all these things are so interwoven for me. When I hear them now, I'm just like, wow, it's all right there. It's all right there. It's all right there. And we've had our eyes and our ears all out here, listening and seeing all of the busyness. Yes, the bells and the whistles and the next achievements or things or items or relationships or whatever it is. And we haven't really been taking the focus in and connecting and remembering. So I was sitting down outside, listening to my inner knowing, and I was preparing for the class this week. And I said, I want to go deeper. I want to go to spaces that I necessarily haven't gone this deep before. But of course, I want it to be the greatest good for all involved. And so I heard in my head Christ speak, and the saying, again, many of you may have know this quote, but the greatest of these is love. And I always loved that Christ said that, because there was so much teachings and instructions back in that space of time, to my humble understanding, that were really saying, you need to do this if you're going to be good, or you need to do this if you're going to be whatever, and you need to do this and check this off and this off and this off. And even the 10 commandments, right? That's a list of what to do and not do. And yet Christ said, the greatest of these is love. And so when I heard that in my head and I was sitting outside, and I thought, oh, wow, yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. Taking that to the depths of the greatest of these is love. So then I heard the verse in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. Again, everybody's heard this one at weddings. You've seen this one before on ornaments for Christmas or whatever it is, where it says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. I said, okay, let's take it deeper. Let's pick that apart. So I thought, patience. Love is patience, right? So what is patience? And like, how can we put that in the toolbox, right? So that we don't just go, that's how I'm supposed to be, but we can really actually have an applicable tool to help us be that space of love, right? So patience. And I thought about it. If we trust our connection to our best good, in this now. If we trust, right? So I'm picturing a toolbox that I can, or like a tool belt maybe would be even better, because a toolbox you put down, a belt you wear. So love is patient. And how can we, when we grab that tool, when we need patience, but we're not necessarily feeling very patient, how can we utilize that tool? So first off, it's a immediate connective point for the being, for your consciousness, that when you see the tool, when you see it says patience, that will remind you, that will quicken your consciousness that you have a choice, right? This is you going into wholeness, observation mode. That is your switch on. Okay, wait, I have a choice. I can be conscious here. Love is patience. Patient. Well, what is patience, and why would I be able to be patient right now when I don't feel patient? Well, that's when I see the tool as it represents my trust. It represents my trust in the bigger picture, not the moment I'm in at that exact experience, right? But it takes me to my wholeness, and it reminds me that I'm light. It reminds me I'm more than that experience. And it says to me, how do you want to continue forward in this space? It's the same thing we talked about in Becoming the New Human, but it's allowing us to really take it into the space of love, not just so that we don't get in another argument or that we don't talk to a wall. Because remember, we talked about that. Sometimes you could go into why this experience could be different. And the individual you're talking to, their consciousness is at a different area code. Remember, we've talked all about all of this. So in this instance, now we're taking this onto another level. You're leaving Becoming the New Human. It's going to I already am. And now what does that mean? And it means you're coming from the love of God, because the love of God is actually within your being. It's not separate from you. It's not something that we are striving to be. In all honesty, we already are it. We just haven't practiced living that. It's all right here. Energetically, perceptionally, it's all right here. So now you are coming from a space where you look down in the tool belt when the moment's feeling like it's feeling, and you say, wow, I could really use my patience tool. And you look at that wrench that says patience across it, and you say, why would I be patient? And your answer is, because I trust the bigger picture. This moment is one experience of my wholeness, and I'm eternal. Get the perspective, right? Allow yourself to go back into a space, not stuck underneath the moment, but back looking at it and saying, whoa, dude, this is a blip in my eternity. How do I want this blip to go? Because I can either make war with this or peace with this. I can pick up my wrench that says patience, and I can utilize it to work through the situation with grace. And then if we do those kind of things, we're not coming back as beings of light in walk back sessions, or our kids aren't going to have to do past life regression healing or ancestral lineage healing, because we're taking care of it right now for them, okay? And for ourselves and for everyone else involved. So also keep that in mind as well. But the whole core of this is I trust, right? I trust. That's how I can have patience, because I trust the love that is within me. I trust the love that is within God. And I trust the fact that I am not separate from that. Any questions, comments, or feedback, though, just go ahead and email me. And I'm so deeply honored to walk this space with you. So deeply honored. I send blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you so much.